Well, I think that if you relook at the Korean economy as a whole, our dependency on export is much higher. So the key factor would be more like what's happening to the DRAM cycle as well as semiconductor cycle, and also what's happening to the economic growth rate of U.S. As far as the dependency on China, it has been diminished quite significantly. So therefore, the China at current growth rate remain intact, and that's okay. I think the more important factor is what's happening to the U.S. side. Even though Fed is expected to cut interest rate, we think that the economic slowdown of U.S. is not going to be that significant in the areas of the semiconductor industry, as well as the IT segment, as well as the electric vehicle side. We think that the growth rate on that in U.S. is going to be quite significant. If that's the case, the export growth rate, we are seeing that is growing quite rapidly. More likely next year, we will see two-digit growth rate of export related to the semiconductor as well as the electrical vehicle side, including the battery side. So we think that the Korea is in a good room for the investor to look at. If you look at the U.S. market as a whole, we are seeing quite a lot of interest happening to the small mid-cap. So we could look at Korea as a bit of a small mid-cap of U.S. Because we are provider of parts to U.S. in any case. So I think that interest from the foreign investors could be increased in the future.
When it comes to chips, though, do you think the AI story, the HBM3 stories, or HBM3E, or whatever is next generation, the latest generation, and do you think the chip recovery, the chip cycle recovery, you don't think that that's all priced in at this point? Because usually the chip stocks would price in the chip cycle recovery 6 months or so in advance, and the consensus is that second half recovery. Where do you stand on that?
I think that we're still in a probably early stage of recovery, because if you look at the infrastructure investment that you are seeing in the U.S. by the IT sector, it has not picked up as much, and so we think that the AI story or the AI-related chip investment is going to be picking up quite rapidly.